Coach Corey Wayne, and this is my video coaching newsletter. And the topic of this newsletter is going to be needing versus wanting. And yes, there is a huge difference. Well, I've got two really good emails that I'm going to go through with you today. But before we get into it, I got a quote that I wrote that obviously applies to this subject and the difference and the importance of knowing the difference. And it says, there is a major difference between wanting someone because you desire them and want to give to them, and needing them because you desire them from a place of lack and scarcity to the point that you come off as smothering, suffocating, and controlling out of your own feeling of inferiority and insecurity. The very nature of needing someone is due to a limiting belief that you must possess or control someone because you fear that they won't want you back consistently out of their own free will, choice, and desire. Real love is based upon freedom and giving the gift of yourself, your time, and your heart for the sole purpose of contributing to the happiness, welfare, and well-being of another unconditionally and without any attachments to getting something in return. The purpose of all relationships is that you go there to give, not to take in order to fill yourself up with what you feel you lack. You are the gift, and therefore should only spend your time with people who naturally perceive you to be that way instead of trying to force yourself upon them. Let's get into the first guy's email. He says, "Hey coach, I met this girl, top 5, the only one I've ever had chemistry with before. We hooked up about 4 months ago, and a week before her love from the past flew into the U.S. from Europe to see her. They had planned a trip together for when he got here, but she was thrown by hooking up with me and having feelings for me. They trekked around the country together for about a week, and when she was back, she contacted me right away. We hooked up again and had lots of fun, but it was clear she was unsure what she wanted as she was in love with this guy from the past. I played the best centered me I've ever played as I had just discovered your teachings and even pulled out the, well, he can keep you busy when you're not with me call, which threw her even more in a good way, and she didn't expect that from me." Yeah, because in essence what you're telling her is that you're there because you care about her and you like her and you appreciate her and you enjoy being with her. But you're not attached to her being in your life. In other words, you're not going to completely come unglued and fall apart if she's not there. This communicates that she has the freedom to come and go. And freedom is a very important component to love. Because if the other person does not feel free, they're going to back away. He says, "We started to hook up more frequently when the other dude left town and to live down south. However, then she took off to see him again for a few days, obviously hooking up with him again, probably, who knows, whatever. What you gotta understand is you just met this girl after she recently broke up with somebody else. And because you've only known her for a short period of time, you haven't had the time to establish a strong emotional bond. And at the end of the day, you're just kind of casually hooking up with this girl. So I always say focus on hanging out, having fun, and hooking up, because there could be an ex-boyfriend trying to come back into the picture. She may still have strong feelings for him. You just don't know what's going on in her personal life. Obviously, the ideal situation is a woman who's ready, willing, and able to have a relationship, meaning she's completely over the exes or her divorce. There's no other ex-boyfriends in the picture. But obviously, there's a lot of times it's just life can be messy. Relationships tend to be messy at times. You don't have any control over who you love or who you are attracted to, because attraction is not a choice for either men or women. And when you meet somebody and you have this amazing chemistry with, it's like you can look past all of the potential things, obviously like an ex-boyfriend that's in the picture. But at the end of the day, the only thing you can really do if you want to have give yourself the greatest chance of winning her, or I should say have her falling for you, is giving her the freedom to come and go as she please, and understanding that she may choose to go back to the ex-boyfriend, or she may choose you. But if you chase after her from a place of lack and scarcity, you will most certainly drive her into the arms of the other guy, or the guy that you fear losing her to. It's very important. So he says, once again, she came back and got back on with us. We'd see each other a lot as we live in the same beachside neighborhood. And we were hooking up 2 to 3 times a week, hanging out, having fun, and hooking up. Good times. That's the way it's supposed to be, dude. Keeps it very simple, and it doesn't complicate things that way. It's why I focus on that, and I say it over and over and over, and I say it throughout my book as well. Because the average guy is focused on locking a girl down to a commitment, because deep down, he feels like he's not good enough to have her love him anyways, so he figures if he just forces the issue and traps her or cages her, that she'll stick around. She's always going to squirm and haul ass, just like a cat. I mean, go chase and jump on a strange cat from the neighborhood. The thing's going to claw, it's going to scratch, it's going to hiss, and it's going to haul ass from you. And that's in essence what guys do to women. He says, we were hooking up 2 to 3 times a week, hanging out, hooking up, having fun, good times, and there's definitely a connection, especially in the bedroom with us, and I've never heard that or had that with a girl like this before. However, there were a couple times when she showed a short, snappy temper after drinking and got angry when she found out others in our neighborhood knew about our situation, as she wanted to keep it quiet. That's why you need to keep... Women like a guy who will keep his mouth shut and they don't go and blab all, hey, I'm dating this girl, she's so fucking hot, this sex is awesome, man, it's great. Because if you don't want that shit to get back to her, keep your mouth shut. There's an old Indian proverb. It says, if tried not to know, keep mouth shut. So it's very important, because women do not like it when they are the subject of gossip and that everybody in the neighborhood knows the intimate details of their sex life and who they're sleeping with and how much they're sleeping with them. It's a bad fucking way to go. It's a quick way to kill intimacy and trust right away. It's not so much a big deal when you're just casually hooking up with a girl, but especially if you want to be in a relationship with her, she's never going to feel safe and comfortable because she's not going to feel like she can trust you and tell you anything. There's a major difference. There's pickup skills, which are essential to start dating. There's dating skills, which are essential to get her to fall in love and be in a relationship. And there's relationship skills that are completely different than the other two. And you have to understand how and when to show up in each area. And I go through that and I detail that in my book. And that's why you see a lot of the guys in the pickup and seduction community, they never talk about their girlfriends because most of them don't have girlfriends because they're great at meeting chicks and hooking up for a few weeks. But after that, when it comes to communication and actually being her rock, being her mountain, they don't understand that stuff. And that's why they can't ever make the transition successfully from hooking up to actually having a girlfriend and having a relationship or living with somebody or dating somebody for several years. He says, I was also becoming too available, and anytime she texts to catch up, I'd drop everything, get behind in renovating my house, and just hang with her instead. Well, you're not focused on your purpose, dude, and that needs to be the primary concern of any man's life. It's great that you're excited, you love this girl, but if you got shit to take care of, you got to focus on that first. Say, babe, I'd love to see you, but I got to reframe this house, or I got to plumb the bathroom, whatever it happens to be that you're working on. If that's your mission, your purpose, you need to focus on that. Because when you don't, the woman's not going to trust your masculine core. Because think about it. Because she sees if you're neglecting things just for her, maybe you'll neglect little Johnny when you are supposed to be picking him up from school. And if a woman doesn't trust you, she's not going to love you. Just like if she doesn't respect you, if you don't stand up for yourself, she won't love you either. He says, I realize now I should have eased it back to maintain her interest, and I lost my center a bit, which also affected my work on my house and also led to more outbursts from her. That's what happens. When you're uncentered and you're not in your masculine, women become bitchy really quick because they don't like it. Because when you're not in your masculine, it forces them to move in their masculine. It's not their natural essence. In essence, what you're asking them to do is be the man, and they don't like it, and that's why they become bitchy, because it's not who they are. You have to understand that. It's very important. That's the thing. Women are always going to reflect back to you exactly how you're showing up. He says, once again, especially having drinks, obviously, I guess so she tends to have outbursts when she drinks. It sounds like she can't handle her liquor. But we're pretty social like that, and she's in hospitality, so she's always up for social drinking. Yeah, well, she's a bartender or a server, then yeah, that's just part of the business, going out after work. He says, so after about 2 months of being kind of solid, the last month, shit started to go from bad to worse. The signs were there that she was thinking that she would hurt me due to her indecision of wanting to continue together. That's why it's so important to maintain her freedom and just say, hey, baby, every moment that I get to spend with you is a gift. If you got shit to take care of, great. If you're hanging out with the other guys you're dating, it's really none of my business. Because it isn't. Because until the woman gets to a place where she emotionally wants to be exclusive with you, she's not going to bring it up. She's not going to talk about it. And no amount of you talking or controlling or trying to manipulate her into a relationship is going to make... Because in essence, what you got to be is her best option. In other words, when she's with you, she's got to feel like she can still be herself and still have her outside interests. But what happens is her attraction level for you grows and the intimacy grows, and she starts to see you as the sole source of masculine strength in her life, where when she has a problem or she has something that she wants to just talk about, you're a great listener. You'll be the one that she comes to, and she'll less and less depend upon her girlfriends or her other guy friends that she knows or other exes in the picture, because you'll be meeting all of her needs. And if you're meeting all of her needs, she'll have no reason to hang out with other people other than you, and she's going to want to be with you all the time. And when she gets to that place, she's going to want your attention pretty much 24/7, to the point where, in essence, you live under the same roof together, whether it's being married or moving in together. And when you go back and you watch movies from 30, 40, 50 years ago, this is what you see. The women are always trying to corral the men into a commitment or marriage or relationship, and they're always kind of resisting it. But in the end, they usually give into it because they love her and they want to make her happy. But it's the woman that's driving the relationship. And so when a guy focuses on that, he in essence is acting like a woman, and it dissipates the sexual polarity. And it'll make her become bitchy. It'll make her become confused. It'll make her hang out with those other guys or the ex-boyfriends, because deep down she's not having her needs met fully by a guy who's 100% in his masculine. He says, but the whole time I didn't really want or press for any commitment, as I played it cool in that respect. It got worse when one of the boys saw her out at the bar and said to her, careful, he's in love with you. He's never had this before. Yeah, some fucking friend. That friend of yours is a douchebag. He doesn't understand women. He has no fucking clue. And he's thinking, oh, I'm going to be helpful. I'm going to use logic and reason to convince her why she needs to spend more time with my buddy. I'm really helping him out. He has no fucking idea, but he just totally cock-blocked you. And plus, that tells her that you're not keeping your fucking mouth shut, that you're blabbing all your guy friends. So when she gets around you, she's thinking, every one of these guys and every person in your life knows that we're fucking, and knows that I scream your name, and knows that I like it anal, or whatever it happens to be. It's like it makes them feel uncomfortable. It makes them feel like they can't trust you. Even though women blab about all this stuff to their girlfriends about you, I know it's a double standard, but just fucking don't do it, because it's going to create problems in your relationship. I'm here to tell you the way things are. If you don't like it, it's not my fucking problem. I didn't invent women. If you got a problem with it, talk to the big man upstairs. He says, I was pissed when I heard that, but what it did was push her further from me, as she wasn't wanting to hear that, making me sound weak and needy via someone else. Plus, you're not somebody that she can trust. You're blabbing all... Because if you're talking about the sex, then she thinks about every intimate detail of her life that she shares with you in confidence. Now she thinks that you're sharing that with your buddies, which you probably are. Again, keep your fucking mouth shut. That's why you don't see me blabbing. I might talk about I have a date here and there, but I'm not fucking talking about who I was fucking or how much I was fucking or what I'm doing or where I'm going or any of that stuff. Why? Because they're watching my fucking videos. I mean, you think I'm going to cock block myself? It's just not right. Women don't want your innermost secrets. Now, I might talk about women in the past from like years ago and stuff like that for educational purposes, but things that are intimate, that are secrets, I'm not going to tell exactly who that was or where it was, because I'm going to get shit about it. I'm going to get phone calls like, what are you doing talking about this? It's like, don't fucking do it. You see right here's a perfect example. This guy's having all kinds of problems created in his relationship because he can't keep his mouth shut. Don't fucking do it. And did I say, by the way, keep the things that your woman shares with you in confidence to yourself? Yeah. So he would still hook up and hang out 2 to 3 times a week for a period, but with the warning signs coming in thick and fast, until she finally pulled the, we just need to be friends. I can't give you more. You need to find someone lovely. So in other words, she's definitely feeling like you're focused on a relationship and you're like, I love you. You're probably all goo goo gaga, your head's in the clouds. And she can tell that. And plus all your friends are going, he's a really great guy. You need to not break his heart now. and they think they're helping you out, but it's like, that tells me some of your buddies are fucking pussies and they need to read my book. They need to fucking man up, dude. You need to help a brother up. Help them out. Send them to the website. Teach them these things. Educate them. He says, this was a number of weeks ago now, and we've hung out a few times since, and she's even stayed over, but no action, and she still drills in the friend factor. Yeah, that's why you must be clear in your intent. It's like, honey, I adore you, and I love spending time with you, but I am not interested in something platonic with you. So if you're telling me that when we hang out, I can't touch you, I can't kiss you, I can't make love to you, and kiss you in all the places in your little secret worlds like I used to, it doesn't work for me. Give me a call if you change your mind, because I'd love to see you. I want to ravish you again. You're amazing. You're sexy as hell. And then walk. Walk and never look back. A man must stick to his truth and live it. And when a woman tests him and says, well, I'm cutting off the punani, he says, I'm not interested in that. I adore you, but that doesn't work for me, sweetie. It's like, I mean, how could I? I mean, you're so ravishing and so beautiful. Like, you honestly expect me to be around you and like not get a boner? It's like, come on, it's not going to work. He says, I do want to be friends with her as she is thinking about leaving overseas now, and I'd like to leave it on a good note. Take your right hand and reach out and choke yourself. You do not want to be friends with her. Bull fucking shit. You're bullshitting yourself this because you're thinking, God, well, at least if I'm friends with her, she'll still be in my life. But yeah, but you'll still have really bad fucking blue balls, and you'll make yourself miserable because you're not living your truth. You're not standing up for what you want. I know it's tough, but you got to stand up for yourself, even if it means you lose the girl forever. That's the rub. That's the double-edged sword. You got to be willing to walk away and potentially lose her forever, because you don't get what the strongest negotiating position is, being able to walk away and mean it. And you don't get what you deserve in life, only what you negotiate. He says, I would love to leave it on a note where we can hook up until she leaves, and my friend tells me that I should just pull back and she will come to you, but I can't help reach out to her, or when she does, I am immediately available again. If she reaches out, assume she wants to see you and make a date to hang out and have fun and hook up. You going along with her friendship agenda and still pursuing her because you're afraid of losing her, it's like you've already kind of lost her, dude. It's like the power went from her chasing and pursuing you to then you started running after her, and you in essence became the woman. And then when she said, I'm sticking you in friend zone, you just went, okay, I'll do this. So he says, recently, after a break of not seeing each other for a week, we hung out and ended up walking home from the bar together. I walked with her towards her house, and when she said, what are you doing, mister? We're just friends, I would have said, I'm not interested in being friends, and be clear in your intent. He says, this weekend, after trying 8 days of no contact, she reached out, and we went out and had bowling and had drinks, and we ended up at her house in bed hooking up. Good job. You were able to regain control of your flat spin, at least even if it was momentarily. You let her come to you. You walked away. You're like, no friendship for me. No male girlfriend for me. I'm not becoming your therapist. Then 2 days later, we hung out again and stayed up drinking and talking until 5 in the morning when I said a couple of wrong things, and bang, she snapped again and kicked me out. Come on, man. You need to study my book harder. It's like you've done good enough to get this girl to this point, but you're going sideways because all those insecurities and fears and doubts, and plus the fact that you don't know my work well enough, you don't know the book well enough. That's why I say read it 10 to 15 times. This is exactly why. You don't get yourself in these situations where you cock-block yourself and do stupid things. Because you think, I'm getting laid. I know this shit. I don't need Corey's fucking book. I don't need to watch his videos anymore. And then you get... It's like you beat yourself up. It's like, you ever see that Jim Carrey movie, Liar, Liar? Guy walks in, he's like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, I'm kicking my own ass. He says, it's been 2 days since that, and I'm wanting to message her, don't do it, to make sure things are sweet with us. Don't do it. She does feel strongly about me, but is obviously confused. Yeah, because you're acting weak, dude. That's why. It's your fault. And you know it's your fault. He says, this whole week I've been super flat, and I don't know whether to or how to let her go. I want to reach out and chat so we can leave it on a good note. You did leave it on a good note. You had sex the last time you saw her, even though you went a little sideways in the end with your putting your foot in your mouth, calling her and basically reconfirming to her that you want to be her emotional tampon is not going to cause her to want to come over and have sex with you. Sorry, acting weak ain't going to make it work. He says, or should I pull back? Let her come back to you, dude. She did it after 8 days before. He says, affecting my work, my progress on my house, and my mood and motivation. How can I clear my head, focus, and progress? Well, what it is, you've got this invisible barrier, this fear barrier, and you've got to push past it. Every man struggles with it. And it's like once you break through it and you're able to walk from a situation like this and the woman keeps coming back to you over and over, or if she walks away forever, you have to become okay with that too. When that happens a few times, it's like then you overcome it. You're no longer run by your fears. And that's when you're really completely centered in your essence. Because from that point forward, never again will you put yourself into a position where you're going to sacrifice your needs and wants in order to prostitute yourself to be what you think a woman wants you to be in order to get her to like you. Unless it's on your terms, you're willing to let it go and never look back. And that's the place that you want to get to. Every guy struggles with this. This is your own struggle. Every guy has to deal with it. I did it myself. It was a motherfucker, but I overcame it. If I can do it, you can do it. So let's get into the second email. This guy says, hey coach, my pregnant girlfriend left me 6 weeks into our pregnancy and now it's 5 months she's been pregnant and she's dating another dude. I'd only known the girl for 6 months and we'll call her Jill. Before the pregnancy happened, I met her at the mall and she's a very physically attractive young lady with dark features and model looks. I was so attracted to her and felt lucky initially when we started dating, but she had a bit of a dark side which I decided to look past. I know how you feel, dude. It's tough when the girl's fucking drop dead gorgeous and the sex is great. It's like all the red flags you see them, you're like, oh, look at the pretty red flags. Oh, look at that. I'm going to be different. Wrong. Background-wise, she came from a broken home where her dad was quite abusive and her mom, I suspect, has narcissistic personality disorder. Sounds like they're great parents. And when I met her, she had just moved into town because she was leaving her drug dealer boyfriend. Nice. She had a painkiller addiction, which was her self-medicating for bipolar disorder. The medication would mellow her out on some of her manic tendencies. Wow. There's like red flags everywhere. You're like in a sea of red flags, dude. It's like you're tripping over the red flags. They're so everywhere. Her income was from her little home internet business where she makes a ridiculous wage suckering men into paying her to take her clothes off and pretend to be interested in them. Nice. There's a lot of lonely dudes out there. He says, I come from a 2-parent home and I believe in clean living and I love to work out. Listen to what he says. I come from a 2-parent home, I believe in clean living and I love to work out. Right then and there, your goals and your values are simply not aligned, dude. No matter how good the pussy is. Her values and your values are, they just are not going to meet in the middle. He says, I look past some of these personality mismatches, though, because the girl was just stunning, and I was not used to having a girl of this beauty on my arm. It's your birthright, bro. Get fucking used to it. If you're going to stick around on my channel for a while, this is how your life goes. I want you to have a girl that knocks your socks off, but also the elevator goes all the way up to the top floor. What I mean is the lights are on, but nobody's home. You don't want that. He says, I was not used to having a girl of this beauty on my arm, and it made me temporarily insane, I think. Beautiful. If you've never dated a really super hot chick like that, it pushes all your buttons in every way, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, sexually. It's just, it totally makes a guy go bananas. I've been there. But after a while, the shit wears off. He says, when we first started dating, Jill would always buy me presents and bring me coffees to my house after I was done with the gym. And we'd go out to bars because she was a bit of a party girl. Another red flag. And I would take her around to my hangouts and stuff, and we would have a good time. After 2 months of this, one day she told me that she was going to leave town for a while and wouldn't tell me where or why. I was pissed and I demanded an explanation, and she broke up with me over text, and I told her to beat it. Well, I would say probably up until that point you hadn't learned about my stuff yet. So obviously you're doing and saying a lot of things that are turning her off. And if you've read my book, you probably went through and you're like, all the light bulbs are going off. Like, oh, yeah, I did that. Oop, I did that one too. It's like, I made all the mistakes, dude. I've been there, done that. I know what it's like. I got all the fucking t-shirts. He says, I didn't try contacting her at all after that, but I was heartbroken in that she could have dropped me so abruptly. Well, she was really in love with you and that into you. She wouldn't have just walked away like that. He says, regardless, life goes on, so I started to date again and play the field, and about 8 weeks later, I got a text message from a strange number, and it was the girl. She told me that she was back in town and was sorry she left. Huh. You did one thing right. You walked and you never looked back. And you're like, fuck it. Nothing I can do. It takes two to make a relationship work, and she wasn't willing to make an effort anymore. And you did the right thing by walking away and going on with your life as hard as it was. So good for you, dude. Good fucking job for that. Pat yourself in the back. She told me that she had to detox herself off the medication that she was addicted to, which apparently is very hard. I ignored her message completely because I was pissed at her for leaving, and then I got another message from her a week later, which I answered. We talked a bit and decided to meet up again. For the next couple of months, I spent all of my time with her, which was definitely a mistake. I was enjoying my time with her, though, and I didn't really consider it a bad thing. Yeah, you were bamboozled by the pussy. You were pussy whipped, dude. Totally. You were pussy drunk, I should say. That's a better term. Me and her were an item again, and I was happy, but that changed when she got pregnant. I noticed she was getting a little bitchier than usual, and we had a couple of disagreements, and both were her trying to leave me in the middle while we were hanging out downtown, and I had to put her in her place and tell her no leaving me in the middle of our plans for the evening, which I think is fair. You're controlling her. Your attitude should be, baby, I love you, but if you're going to be shitty and you want to just take off and take a taxi home, then great. I'm going to hang out and have a great time. Call me when you want to act like an adult and talk to me, and you let her fucking go. Don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. He says, she sent me some long text messages raining anger at me, which I spewed anger back. He says, I know why not to do that now from watching your videos, but it's too late. He says, 3 weeks into her pregnancy, and one day, about an hour before we were to hang out, she cancels on me and says she's going to hang out with her guy friend, and we'll call him Brad. I told her no, and then she dumped me. Yeah, dude, you're acting like a control freak here. See, women like this are always going to haul ass. I mean, any woman, when you try to control her like that, she fears losing her freedom. It's like she doesn't want to work. If she had a controlling father, I mean, think about it. You're emotionally anchoring her to making her feel negatively the same way she felt about her father. I assumed the worst, of course, but I did not message her again for the rest of the week, and that was on Monday, until Saturday, where I let my emotions go, and I asked her if she fucked Brad, and she said no, and was very offended when I asked. Come on, man. It's like, that's total weak, needy, insecure behavior. It's just a bad way to go. You're basically saying, I don't think I'm good enough for you, and probably Brad's a better dude, and so she's with you, and she's thinking, yeah, maybe I should go fuck Brad, if she wasn't already. We argued over text message, and I tried to get her to meet me so we could talk, but she wouldn't. Yeah, think about it. She's like, well, why don't I go hang out with this guy and deal with his drama queenness? She was pregnant and let me know when the second ultrasound appointment was. I missed the first one because she wouldn't let me be there for it. You want her to want you to be there. And it sounds like, again, you're trying to force yourself upon her because you don't feel worthy to be with her. This is the first super hot girl you've ever been with. You said so yourself. It's tough. You're learning how to maintain your emotional self-control, but you're also seeing that it's not helping your case, dude. Her mother was flying in from out of town to meet me and be there for the ultrasound, and I was excited to meet her and see my pregnant ex-girlfriend, who I'd not seen in 6 weeks now. Unfortunately, on my way to the ultrasound, I got stuck in traffic because of a train that delayed me by 30 minutes, and she was pissed and her mother was pissed. Sounds like you did not plan properly. Success depends upon prior preparation, and without said preparation, there's sure to be failure. It's pretty important. A girl's going to have your baby and you missed the ultrasound. Doesn't matter what the reason is. The point being is you didn't show up. Just think about it. You're supposed to pick little Johnny up from school and you show up a half hour, hour late, and some dude kidnaps your child. Think about it. That's what a woman is going to go through her mind. It's going to freak her out, dude. It's just the way it is, dude. You gotta find a way. You gotta, back out of traffic. You gotta run. You gotta figure it out, dude. You gotta show up. Again, I didn't make women. Talk to the big man upstairs. He says, I arranged to meet up with them afterwards at a restaurant, but the damage was done, and I ended up in a verbal fight with the mother. Oh, I bet that was a lot of fun. Jill messaged me afterwards apologizing for her overbearing mother, but then also saying some patronizing thing to me about how someday I will find the right girl, but I was not it. I was pissed off by the comments, so I told her to lose my number and never talk to me again, move back to her hometown, and talk some poor sucker into raising a kid because I was done being treated like this. Yeah, you sound like kind of a 5-year-old. I had a guy that I did a phone session with yesterday. He was a fucking asshole. And he wonders why his girlfriend didn't want anything to do with him and why her kids didn't want anything to do with him. And it's like, I was trying to help the guy and he was just being an asshole. It's like, some people you just can't reach, It's like they just have to experience the pain of their own shitstorm that they cause, It's like you got to participate in your own rescue. It's like out of over the past 8 years I've been doing this full time, it's like I only had one guy that would say, you know what, that dude has BPD, borderline personality disorder. He needs some serious psychological help that I was obviously unable to give him. He just wasn't open to what some guys are like that. They got to learn the hard way. And like when you act like this, you're in essence acting like a 5-year-old. You're throwing a temper tantrum and saying, I'm going to take my toys and I'm going to go home. Because you're totally stuck in a place of fear of loss, scarcity, lack. He says, I truly regret, because that's what this guy would do. He would blow up, kick her out, she'd pack her shit up and go, and then he'd fly across the country to retrieve her. It's like, come on, man. And after a couple of years of that, the woman's just going to get fucking tired of it and say, you're a nut. I'm out of here. And then they find somebody else, and then by then, it's too fucking late. He says, 2 months later, I got invited to the next ultrasound appointment, and I saw her for the first time in 5 months, and we were quite warm to each other at this point. We were having a boy, in which we were both happy about, and then we parted ways. She invited me to come trick-or-treating with her and some of her friends who are parents, and she was slightly cooler with me this time, though, but I played with her pregnant belly, which made me happy because I had missed out on everything so far, and I was excited. You said you never wanted to see her again. Let some other schmuck raise your kid. You didn't mean it. Whenever you get angry like that, bite your tongue and shut up. Think about it for a couple of days. In your case, think about it for 2 days, and then you respond. He says, and what would really help you and what helps people in situations like this is network chiropractic care. Because once you get into a peaceful, relaxed state in your physiology, you don't really act this way anymore. You don't get upset and free. You get angry still, but it won't like completely hijack you where you just totally lose control of your emotions and blurt out shit like this. You'll be angry and you're pissed off and you're like, fuck this, and you just leave the situation, and after you calm down and you experience your emotions, then you'll know exactly what to do. But when you're stuck in a stressed state, it's like you can't help but react this way. Wise World Seminars. Go to that web. That's Dr. Donald Epstein's website. He's the one that founded Network Chiropractic Care. So if you have a problem responding and you're always seem to be like stuck in a stressed state, Network Care would really help you. Completely changed my life. He says we held hands and stuff, and then after we got back to the house, she said that she had to go to the gym. And it was a strange hour to go work out, and I called her out on it and asked her if she was meeting somebody, and she said it's none of my business because we're broken up. Still trying to control her, dude. And see what she says, you're not my boyfriend, and therefore you don't have any say in the matter. And she's right. He says, I told her I thought her new boyfriend is a pathetic loser for dating a pregnant chick, and she defended him and said that he has been there for her pregnancy, unlike me. I have to agree with her, dude. She's totally spot on, and that's a really shitty thing to say to a woman who's pregnant with your child. It's like, come on, man. What are you fucking thinking, dude? He says, I don't know what to say, but the last message I sent her was trashing her boyfriend, and I've said some mean stuff over the last few weeks when we would fight over message. You're not helping your situation. Think about it. Every time you talk to her, it's fucking drama. You're completely driving her away. Why would she want to spend time with you when you act this way? All you're doing is consistently acting like, I'm not worthy, please find another guy, and you're also telling her that. Please find a guy that's better than me for you. And so she has no choice. You drive her away. You ruin her attraction for you when you act this way. But it's like she still gives you a chance to be in her life. And you keep driving her away every time. He says, I think that this relationship is done, and while it might not sound worth salvaging, I am in love with this girl and the fact that she's having my firstborn son, and I want to make something work with her if at all possible. I come from a two-parent home, and honestly, I think it's best for the child. Do you honestly think that you being a father to this child and acting this way and treating his mother this way is a healthy or a dysfunctional way of being a parent? Think about it. You might want to consider getting some counseling yourself for personality disorder. Go see a psychologist, go see a counselor, and learn how to communicate like an adult instead of just fucking totally blowing up and acting like a 5-year-old. Because no woman is going to put up with that shit. He says, my question is, did I already do too much damage with all of this? I will need to get along with her for the sake of the kid, but as it stands now, she has attraction of 30% and I don't know what to do, but I want her back and I want to have a regular family. Have I made too many mistakes? I can't tell you from what you told me, but this particular guy, I do have a phone session with him next week. So what I would tell you to do is just to hang tight until we have our phone session next week and don't do anything. You gotta be, and if she does reach out to you, be fucking nice to her, dude. Be grateful. She's pregnant with your fucking baby. Think about it. I mean, energetically, that energy that you're putting out there is going to affect your child, and you want to affect your child in a positive light. So just hang back and chill out, relax, and if she does get in touch with you, hang out, have fun, maybe hook up. I don't know. If she's got a new boyfriend, there's not a lot you can do about that particular situation. But like I said, we'll talk more about it next week. And if you'd like to get my help personally with a situation or a challenge or a problem that you're having, go to my website, click the Products tab at the top of your screen, and follow the instructions for booking a paid phone coaching session with yours truly. And I will talk to you soon.